What is going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how to pull data into Google Sheets for international stocks. This is everything from United States to Canada to Great Britain to UK, Brazil, all over the world, India. We could finally have data for all of these international stocks. Not only are we pulling price, but we're also pulling our dividend price, our dividend yield. We can get stuff like market cap. And then to top it all off, we will have a breakdown so we can see what we have in each country depending on the currency you want to see. So this is my breakdown for USDs. Let's change it. How about to Canadian dollars? Let's change it to how about the British pound? We could change it to all of these so you know exactly how much money you have depending on the currency that you are on. All of this is dynamic. It is probably, in my opinion, the best way to do it. I know Google Finance allows you to pull international stocks, but it's not the best way to do it. Here's how you would do it. Google Finance, we open quotations or parentheses and say we want to pull a Canadian stock. Well, we're pulling it from, we got to label the exchange, so TSC, then ACB for the stock that I'm picking, comma, and then we could get price that way, close, and then there you go. We could get the price. But the reason why this isn't that effective is because we can't create a tracker with this. We can't have Canadian stocks and US stocks. It doesn't work as well. It's not going to look as clean as, say, this portfolio. And then on top of that, Google Finance doesn't allow you to pull dividend data. I have no clue why, but I feel like that is a huge thing that people want. But this tracker shows you exactly how to do that. So let's dive right in and show you exactly how to make this step by step. But before that, guys, remember to smash that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I have tons of awesome content like this. And on top of all that, drop in the comments below your favorite stock. I think it would be really cool if we could see everyone from all over the world. If you're in the UK, if you're in Canada, United States, India, I want to know what's your favorite stock so then we could all see that and we could learn more about international stocks. Before I've made this video, I'll admit I was only really exposed to US stocks. But I've talked to some really cool people on my Discord and then in the comments section. My boy Ricardo from, is it Brazil? Ricardo, if it's not Brazil, I'm sorry about that, but he was a huge help. He's a fund manager somewhere in South America. I think it's Brazil. He helped me out with this. I think these were his picks right here. These two stocks, he highly recommends them. That's not financial advice. I'm not speaking for him or, don't take that as financial advice. I don't want to get him in trouble because he's actually a fund manager. But there's that information. Ricardo, huge help. Thank you. And everyone else who, asked, they wanted to see what type of stocks to pull from. I did post in YouTube. But let's just dive in. So we're going to be pulling everything from good old Yahoo Finance. Now here's the cool thing with Yahoo Finance. Let's go to everyone's favorite stock, Apple, or maybe Tesla's now everyone's favorite stock. But we already know how to pull Apple, how to get all of this good information. And the hard part is actually getting this alone. Can we isolate this? And how can we break up this? So for dividend, you want your dividend yield and then your actual price. It'd be really cool if we could break that up. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And here's the great thing about Yahoo Finance. Obviously, this is on the NASDAQ. This is a US stock. But let's let's go to Canada. How about, I think that's Royal Bank of Canada or something like that. If we search that, I'm in the US, but here we go. I could view the Royal Bank of Canada in the Canadian currency. So it's 107 Canadian dollars. You could see right here. So this is how we could pull international stocks. So I don't know if you guys have it a little different where you are in the world, if you have to type in the .to to view Canadian stocks. But if not, this should all still work because we're pulling from Yahoo Finance. So let's have a brand new slate, right? And actually, you guys already know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to copy and paste what I have here. So you could do the same. You could pause this video, start writing that down. We'll worry about the colors later. But here we go. Let's make that all the way across. And we are going to merge that. We will center it. We will make that text bigger, 24, something like that. Okay, now that we have that, we're also going to bold all of this and merge that, center everything. Okay, great. So the very first step is plug in your stocks. No code here right now. We're just plugging in whatever stocks. So you can see, again, I'm going to copy and paste just for the sake of the time of the video, but I have a couple of US stocks. I have a couple of Indian stocks, a couple of UK, Europe, Canada, Brazil. So we're just going to go down, copy. I'm going to paste it into here. So you can paste all of your stocks, whether you have a mix of international stocks or maybe just stocks in your country. Then you're going to plug in all of your shares that you have. So this is the easy part, guys. We're going to be getting to the fun part in a couple of seconds. So now we have all of that and all of our purchase price. So we're going to copy that and we're going to drop that there. There we go. And of course, I want to center everything. I think it looks nicer. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the first thing. That's going to be currency. This is pretty easy. You guys might already know how to do this. This is just data validation. So whatever stocks you have, maybe you only have US and Canadian stocks. Maybe you're in India and you're only trading Indian stocks and you don't need the currency tab. The currency tab is if you're trading, if you own stocks in different countries. So that's why I have this. So we're going to just kind of create this right here. So what we need to do is we're going to click on this and you're going to go to, well, actually, yeah, we're going to click on that. You're going to right click. You're going to go to data validation. Okay. So you guys, again, may already know how to do this, but what you want to do is create a list of items and we're going to plug in all of the stocks that we want to possibly trade. So I'm just going to write down what I have: US, Canadian, EUR, GBP, INR, and is that all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I think that's all of them. So whatever you're trading, again, you really only need to do this if you have multiple stocks in different countries. So I think US and Canada is a good example. And scroll this down to however many stocks you think you'll end up owning. So I mean, if it's 200, scroll all the way down to 200. So now that we have that, that's done. And now we can kind of go through and sort what we have here. So the first 10 stocks that I have are United States, or should I say the first 8 stocks. Then the next 2 are Indian, INR. Then the next 4, GBP, I believe that's British pounds. EUR, I believe that's euros. CAD, that's Canadian. And I have 3 of them. Then again, I think BRL is Brazil. Where is... Okay, that's what I forgot. I forgot BRL. So we just got to go back to data validation and add that BRL. Save. Okay, now that I have all of that in, we can move on to the first thing, which is going to be price. And I figured out how to pull this price right here. It's not going to have all of this nonsense behind it. It's just going to pull this live price. I know a lot of people have asked me how to do this. So we're going to dive into that formula. All right, now we could move on to price. Now, because I have both United States and international stocks, I will be pulling from Google Finance just for the United States stocks. But then the stocks that aren't from United States, it will come from Yahoo Finance. You'll see why I do this in a second. So just follow along with the formula if you have United States stocks, and then I'll explain what I'm doing. So we're going to do if A3, 2 quotations, comma, two quotations, comma, if, open parentheses. And what this is saying over here, this is if is blank function. If you look at it, it's the exact same thing. It's just a shorter version of it. It's saying if A3 is blank, leave it blank. Otherwise, do this formula. So we're going to have another if formula, and this is if you have both United States and international stocks. D3 equals USD, comma, Google Finance, open parentheses, A3 again, comma, price, comma, close, comma, index, open parentheses. Now we're pulling from Yahoo Finance, so import XML, open quotations, open parentheses, open quotations. And now we're going to go over to Yahoo Finance right up here, the HTTPS finance.yahoo.com quote / We're going to stop right before the actual symbol. We don't want the stock ticker. Hit Control Copy, and we are going to then paste that in. Once we have that, then we want to close those quotations, hit the end sign, A3 again, comma, open our parentheses, open our quotations, and now here we go. This is how we get the data for this right here. If we right click, go to inspect, and then we have all of this. What we're going to want, let's see if I can find it. All right, so this is a little tricky, but if we scroll up, you see right here, this ID equals quote dash header dash info. We're pulling from that, and then we're going to have to put something in called span, and then it's going to be the fourth thing. It's going to look a little weird. It's not as simple as we could just kind of highlight, copy, and paste, but this is where we're pulling it. It's right here, and you'll see what I mean. So we're going to jump back here. This is what you're going to type in. You are going to type in 2 /, the asterisk sign, open square bracket, at ID equals 1 quotation, and type in quote dash header dash info, close that quotation, close the square bracket, 2 more /, span, close the quotation, the double quotation, close that parenthesis, comma 4, and then we're going to close all 4 parentheses there. We're going to hit enter, and of course we got an error sign. Let's see what I screwed up on. Okay guys, right here I forgot an equal sign. There we go, we hit enter, boom, there's that price. Let's drag it down and look at that. Now we're pulling from all of these different exchanges. And let me explain really quick. The reason why we are pulling the first part from Google Finance, if we have US stocks, is because for United States stocks, this isn't exactly the same, which I learned with Yahoo Finance. It's a little different. It's not this header, it's not span 4. It's a different span. I think it's like span 2 or something like that. For some reason, so what this is saying is if it's a United States stock, use this function. If it's not, use this function. And you could see this function works not only for Canadian stocks, but stocks in the UK, Europe, Brazil, India. So far, this is a decent amount. Hopefully it works for every other place in the world. If you're in Japan or someplace in Asia, someplace in South America, wherever it might be. Hopefully this works for everyone all over the world. But there you go. That is price. So now that we have that hard one down, and again, if you don't have United States stocks, so here's this one right here. Whoops, let's hit enter. We'll go right here. This isn't United States stocks. You don't even need this part right here. You could essentially delete all of this if you wanted to, or well, I guess keep the if it is blank. You could delete all of this. If you don't have a single US stock, just get rid of that and then watch this. See that? It still works. I completely got rid of the if it's a US stock if you don't own any. But because I do, we're going to, or because there is, at least in this chart, we're going to leave that in there. But that is price, guys. Let's move on to cost, which is 1,000 times easier than price. So it's going to be another if A3 equals open parentheses, open quotation, comma, two more open quotations, comma. And what we want to do is take C3, so what we're buying it for, and then we want to multiply that by B3, the amount of shares we have. Close that. There we go. That's our price. Autofill. Let's hit yes. So you can see here's all of our price. Now I'm not hitting the dollar sign because these aren't all in dollars. Some of them are in euros. Some of them are, all over the world. They're all in different currencies. So I don't want to have the dollar sign. We're going to save that for later. So let's go back to plain text. Okay, so that's our cost. Now we're going to move on to value. It's another easy one. It's going to be another equals if A3 equals two quotations. What we want to do is E3, our current price, times that by B3, the amount of shares. Hit enter. That's our value. And now growth is equals if A3, open quotations, comma, open quotations, comma. What we want to do is E3 minus C3, close that quotations, and then divide it by C3. That is pretty simple math equation. You guys should have learned that maybe in like second or third grade. But this is how you find the growth of something. So we hit enter. Let's add that little equals that I forgot. There's our growth. We can make this a percentage. And we could drop that down. There we go. Here's the growth for all of the stocks. And one thing I just want to point out, guys, if you're having any trouble and you're getting an error code, but your code looks exactly like mine, make sure the cells are highlighted in different colors. So you can see A3 is this yellowish orange, E3 is purple, C3 is blue. A couple of you guys will comment, saying that you're having problems, and for some reason your functions aren't showing up with these colors. That's what's wrong sometimes. You got to make sure. It could be a problem with Google Finance, whatever it might be. But now we can move on to dividend data. I think this is something that a lot of people are really interested in learning how to make it work because it's easy. Let's X out of this. If we're on Yahoo Finance, it's really easy to pull this. We should all know, if you've watched any of my other videos, how to pull this table and how to just get the data out. So we could just pull this. But it kind of sucks that we'd be pulling all of this. And then we can't use that. We can't multiply these cells or anything because it's reading it as a string. So how do we separate these two? That's what I'm going to show you. So let's go to dividend data. This is what we're going to do. It's going to be equals if open quotations, open parentheses, A3 equals two quotations, comma. What we want to do is substitute open two parentheses, split, open another parenthesis, index, open another parenthesis, import HTML. So import HTML, open another parenthesis, concatenate one more parenthesis that we are opening. Open quotation. We get to copy our lovely Google Finance HTML. Paste that now. And guys, before I finish this off, because I'm giving you this, all I'm asking for is for you guys to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's boost this channel's algorithm so everyone around the world can find this video. But that requires you guys not only like this video, but also drop those comments below. It really helps the algorithm, so this could reach to tens or hundreds of thousands of people, because our goal here is to teach each other and help advance each other with our finances. So that's all I'm going to ask for you guys. We're going to close that quotation, hit comma, do A3, close that parenthesis, comma, table. So now we're pulling from that table. It's going to be comma, table 2, close the parenthesis, 6, comma, 2, close that parenthesis. Now here's the secret formula. Going to do another comma, and what we want to do is open quotation, space, open and close parentheses, close quotation, close two parentheses, hit comma, open quotation, N-A, close quotation, comma, open quotation, 0.00, close quotation, close two parentheses. We're going to hit enter, and there you go. That 2.72 for target. Let's see. Let's check our work. Let's type in target. Look at that. It pulled that 2.72 and it left out that 1.42. So it was able to just extract that one part of this section. So we can now drag this all the way down. And you can see not all of them have dividends. So PayPal, Square, a couple of Canadian stocks, a European stock. Not all of them have dividends. So instead of it saying NA, it's returning 0 instead, just so it looks cleaner. And now to get the dividend percentage, it's actually pretty easy. It's going to be if A3 equals two quotations, comma, another two quotations, comma. All I want to do is I3 and divide that by our price, E3. That's how you get the dividend percentage. Hit OK. Select that entire cell, and then we want to make that percentage. Boom, there we go. There's our dividend percentage. So for target, we're getting 1.42%. Again, let's check our work right here. 1.42%. So now we have our dividend yield. All right, guys, we're almost done with the hard parts, and then we can get into the fun parts, colorizing everything, making it look nice. Now we get to add this part. This is actually going to coincide with our chart that all goes over here. So we're actually going to leave this blank right now. But this cell right here, put in the currency that you are using, that you want everything to convert to. So for me, it's USDs. So once you have that up there, then that's fine. We're going to end up putting a chart into here. But before that, below on row 17, so right here, we're going to have country breakdown, which is going to be two cells. So we are going to merge those two cells. I'm going to type in country breakdown in. And then let's scroll over. In this cell, this is where we are going to put in all of the different currencies that we have. So it's going to be another data validation. And honestly, you could just go over here and copy and paste one from row D, or yeah, row D, cell D. Just copy and paste that so we have everything here. All right, so once we have that, now we could plug in all of our different currencies. So we got USD, INR, whoops, we don't want it there. We want it right here. INR, GBP, EUR, CAD, and BRL. Once we have all of those, what you want to do is then merge these two cells. So I'm just going over and merging all of them. And you'll see why in a second. This is just, for formatting purposes, to make the chart look nice. So once all of those are formatted, here's what we're going to want to do. We are going to want to do equals sum if. And what we want to select is column D. So we want to go from D3 all the way down to however many we own or how many we think we own. So we could go all the way down to 200. You go all the way down to 1,000 if you're going to own 1,000 different stocks. And again, you got to make sure, see how it's colored. If it's not showing up in color, something is wrong. Hit comma. Then we're going to select L18, which is that one. So what this is saying is we're going to pick a range, and if the range says what L18 says, which is USD, comma, then we want to sum together everything in K, which here's K. So again, we're going to highlight, go all the way down to 200. Close. Hit enter. Obviously, it's going to say 0 because nothing is in K. But let's just set that all up. You could drag this all down now. That should all say 0. And now, what we could do, go up to here where it says USD again. We're actually going to say hit equals, and then we're going to select N17. Hit equals. So now this cell will change whenever this cell changes. So if we change it to USD, now it says USD. We change it to CAD. Now it says CAD. So let's change it back to USD, and we can move on to one of the last parts, and that's getting this. All right, so for this part, we'll be using a Google Finance function. This isn't stock related. This is going to be the currency version of Google Finance. So it doesn't matter where you're from. If you're in India, if you're in Brazil, if you're in Europe, Canada, Google Finance will work for this because it's just to convert currencies. So you're going to hit equals if, open parenthesis, A3 equals, two quotations, comma, two quotations, comma, if, open parenthesis, open parenthesis, D3 equals money sign K money sign 2. So it's very important because we want this, which K2 is where it says USD. We want that to stay there. So that's why we need money sign. Comma G3, comma G3 times Google Finance. We could select that. Open quotations, currency, semicolon, open quotations, and D3, and I'll explain this once I'm done, and close quotations, open quotations, and money sign K, money sign 2, and again, close quotation, close quotation, close 3 parentheses, hit enter, and there you go. And then if we drag this down, there you go. You might be thinking, what just happened? So let's try to explain this. So we already know what the if A3, this means if it's blank, return blank. If it's not blank, what this is saying is if D3, so where's D3? D3 is here under our currency section. If D3 is equal to K2, which is USD, so look, USD is equal to USD, then we just want to return the value of G3, which is right here, our value. Why? Well, because if we are looking in US dollars and we have a US stock, this value is already in US dollars and we don't need to convert it. But then it's saying if it's not, then what we want to do with it is take G3 and then we want to multiply that by Google Finance currency. And this is putting in the currency function. So this is converting D3, so whatever our currency is. So if we jump down to say right here an Indian stock, so this is taking the Indian currency and then converting it into USDs. So again, because I'm in America, USDs, I'm going to hit the dollar sign. That is all of my positions in USDs. And again, you can see right here. So let's look at, how about this Indian stock? That's 2,589 Indian dollars. That's equivalent to 1,773 United States dollars. And then I could take all of this. I could also hit money sign. So you could have your currency now. And you could see, you could kind of jump around. Well, what does my position look like in Canadian dollars? And all of this will update. What does my position look like in euros? Again, it will all update. So now all of that is connected. That changes and all of this changes as well. Guys, we are almost done here. So all we need to do now is actually merge 3 cells over. Then you want to kind of tighten this up. So make that a little longer. Make that one shorter. And then USDs, well, the money section, you could kind of shrink that as well. And then what I like to do, well, we actually don't need to shrink that. We can make that a little bit bigger. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this USD. I'm going to format it so the text is all the way to the left, and then take this and format it so the text is all the way to the right. So there, it kind of looks centered now. At this point, we could start to close this stuff in. Again, this is just kind of cleaning it up, making it look nice like what I had with the original one. So let's bring all of this in a little bit. We could bring that in. We could bring price in, value, growth. And once we bring this all in, then we could make the little pie chart that I have. So you can see the breakdown of all the different currencies, well, all the different stocks you have. So that should be good enough. We could probably bring N in a little bit. There we go. So that all fits on the screen nicely. All right, guys, and then the last step to create that pie chart, we're going to select all of this. So all of our currencies and then the price that it is. We're going to go to Insert Chart. And then you can make it a bar chart. Honestly, I like the pie chart here. So I'll make the pie chart. And we'll X out of that before we start messing around with any colors. We'll bring that in, make it a little bit smaller. Just want to try fitting it into that. Maybe bring it down a little. That looks center, so that's good. So there's my portfolio breakdown now. And guys, that's pretty much it. It's just a matter of making it look nice now. Again, so USD is completely up to date. We could select whatever we want. You see everything, well, this should all stay the same, but everything will change, all of your different dollars. So this is for Canadian dollars, and then down here it shows all of the different country stocks I own and what it would be worth in Canadian dollars. Switch back to USDs, switch to Indian, whatever the Indian currency is. So all of this is now completely up-to-date, dynamic. You can pull from, I guess, any exchange. I only tested some exchanges here, but as you see, it works for most of them. And again, one thing I just want to point out, for all of these foreign stocks that I have, they're foreign to me. They may not be foreign to you. So for BP, I actually need to go to bp.l. So if this isn't a foreign stock to you, if this stock is actually in your country, if you don't have to type in .L, maybe you just need to type in .BP, whatever that is, you just got to make sure. Like, for example, the United States, I don't have to have anything after the actual ticker symbol because I am in the United States. But I'm not entirely sure if you guys need to have that dot after in your country. Again, because I'm only from the United States. Ricardo, who helped me, he said it would be a good idea to keep those dots just to keep everything organized. You know where everything is coming from, which I agree with him on that. But if you want to add colors now with this chart, it's very simple. I mean, we could do it really quick. So I make this one like a dark blue, make the text white, highlight all of that. And what do I have? I also have that dark blue and white. So I have this white and then a little bit darker blue like that. I want to keep all the text black because that looks nice and easy to read. And we'll make that maybe darker gray. I think I had it something like that. Yeah. All of this, I had a lighter gray. Okay. Let's see. We jump back here. This was dark. And guys, what I did for all of the currencies, I actually threw in some conditional formatting. So it will change regarding whatever color you're using for your currencies. So you can see right here, USD is blue, India is red, we got purple, green, this turquoise-ish color, and then this orange color. And then the chart here is also equivalent to that. And then if we change this, so if we change to Canadian, you see it'll actually change that color tab. To do conditional formatting, if you guys haven't seen my other videos, it's actually very simple. So if you right click, here, let's move over. If you right click, go down to conditional formatting, you can then see how it changes the color. So we could say if text is exactly USD, and let's say we want USD to be blue, or how about a blue that's a little easier to see, something like that. And we could bold it, change the text, hit done. So there we go, that's USD. If we add another rule, so let's do another one. So text is exactly CAD. So for Canadian, let's say we'll keep it green. So now we have USD and Canadian. We can add in the rest, but you can watch if I go to Canadian, it changes that to green. And then you can do the same over here for all of your currencies. You can change the colors there. But just for the sake of the length of the video, I'm not going to do that. Could change that. And then if you want to change the color with all of this, it's just a matter of, say this right here, double click. Look at that, we can change the color. We'll keep it that, but that's how you change the color for that. For background, if you go to customize, chart style, here's the background. So we could change that. How about that darker gray that we were using? That's how you change all the colors for everything. Bring that in. And then again, all of this could also be set up for conditional formatting. I'm not going to do that because you guys already know how to do conditional formatting. I also have the growth for conditional formatting as well. And guys, you are not limited to just this. Watch my other videos, learn about different things that I do so you can incorporate it as well. And guys, we're not just limited to price and dividend. With this, you could have all of this data. So if you want the earnings date in there, if you want the PE ratio, market cap, your beta, open, close, ask, volume, if you want any of this information, it's very simple to use. You can see right here, table. We're just pulling from table 2, column 6, row 2, or row 6, column 6, row 2. You just got to change around that stuff. And you can get rid of the split because we don't need the split. But you could check out my other videos to learn how to pull from more data from Yahoo Finance. But that's it, guys. We have it completed now. If you have any questions, again, drop those comments below. If you liked this video, smash that like button. And guys, subscribe if you haven't already. I come out with content every single week trying to educate you guys not only in Google Sheets, but the stock market and to become better investors. You guys rock, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.